we have multiple massive Anthony Davis updates ranging from his health and his injury as well as the timetable to return all the way to the trades and whether or not he's going to be here anytime soon. And on this channel, we've been following very closely on the moves the Mavericks plan to be making after they fired Nico Harrison. And one of the updates that came out recently highlights how Mark Cuban is now in the driver's seat. He is now almost fully in control of this team as Patrick Dumont is deferring to Mark Cuban, allowing him to help him make decisions moving forward. And a lot of rumors going around shows that Anthony Davis is in danger of being traded as Mark Cuban is expected to make big moves. We talked about how he could be going back to his hometown of Chicago, but just the other day we did get word that teams are in fact interested in Anthony Davis, and one of those teams could be the Warriors. So in this video, we're going to take a look at Anthony Davis, see when he should return, what's going on with his injury, as well as will he get traded, how will he get traded, and when can we see something happen. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before you start with today's video, we're currently sitting at 22,926 subscribers. The channel is growing day by day, getting very close to 25K. And if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, from news vids, rumors, live streams, giveaways, everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so we don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But Anthony Davis is in a situation that he really isn't too unfamiliar with. I mean, he's been injured before in his career. I mean, he's known as street clothes, Data Davis, glass bones, paper mache. The list goes on and on. Anthony Davis dealt with injuries for the majority of his career, and it's no different with the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, after his first game against the Rockets, he went down with injury. He was out for a while over the season, over the summer and the off season. He was trying to get back to health. He had to get surgery on his eye, and then he's kind of out of shape still. And then he comes back to start the season, and he's injured again, dealing with a whole lot of stuff with Anthony Davis. It seems like if history is the greatest teacher, then we should have known this was a bad idea. But now that we know that without Nico Harrison in the way, as he has been fired, Mark Cuban is in charge. At the time of this recording, we do not have an actual GM. We do know that it is Michael Finley and others that are helping in that department, but it has been reported and confirmed that Mark Cuban is directly in charge right now. Not Mark Cuban, Patrick Dumont. Patrick Dumont is relying heavily on Mark Cuban to make decisions on the team moving forward in hopes that we don't make another mistake. And if we want to take a look at this report, just to confirm that, came out last week saying that I'm told that Mark Cuban, the Mavs minority owner who was exiled from basketball operations by Harrison, is back at the table. I'm also told that radical roster changes have already been discussed by Dallas's new brain trust. Big changes could be coming to Big D. Now, obviously, everything that Nico has done, for the better or for the worse, has been controversial. Some people like some of the moves. Some people don't like them. There have been good moves. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything Nico did was trash and that he should never been here to start with. He did some good things that did lead to bad things, that did lead to worse things. But Dallas does need some form of change. Either we're going to move forward with this team and wait till they get healthy and see, or we are going to pivot in a different direction. And from all the reports, it shows that Mark Cuban, he's ready to go in a different direction. He wants to make trades. He wants this team to get back to where they were, as we just made the finals 2 seasons ago, and now we're at the bottom. We did win last night's game against the Trailblazers. Things are starting to look better, but the team has to pick a decision. This whole 2 timeline thing just cannot continue. But if we take a look at some other reports, like we went over in a video a few days ago, the Bulls are a team to monitor for a potential Anthony Davis trade, since Chicago have nearly $90 million in expiring contracts, plus picks, Evan's salary reports. And we went over this potential trade for Anthony Davis where he goes to Chicago. We get Kevin Huerter, Nikola Vucevic, as well as Kobe White and some picks, and it doesn't look that bad. But a lot of people in that comment section and a few other videos as well have said, who wants Anthony Davis? What trade value does AD possibly have? Well, we got to be honest with ourselves. Anthony Davis does have some value. Now, you may not get exactly what you want back for Anthony Davis. He's not going to get you 5 first-round picks, 2 young stars, and half of a city. No, that's not what's going to get. That's not what you're going to get for Anthony Davis. But a team will make a trade for Anthony Davis, even though he does have a hefty $50 million per year salary. There are teams that are definitely interested. It's just you're not going to get what you really want back. But if we take a look at the following report, Anthony Davis' calf will return once Johan Billsborough and the Mavs medical staff tell Patrick Dumont that he's cleared for reactivation. So, yes, teams do want Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis could be traded, but he is not coming back anytime soon. Like this report said, Patrick Dumont is not clearing Anthony Davis till he has hard evidence, proof that he is healthy, ready to go, and not at risk of a further injury, as we did find out that he had a weird bilateral Achilles tendinopathy, something with his Achilles, where he was at risk of tearing his Achilles tendon, to the point where Nico Harrison was trying to push him to come back because he knew he was in a hot seat. Anthony Davis knew that Nico was in a hot seat, so they were trying to get Anthony Davis to come back early, which probably could have been a lot worse than where we're at now. But now we know Patrick Dumont, yeah, you're not coming back, AD, until you are fully healthy. And with that being said, we did get the report just yesterday that Anthony Davis, who has missed the last 8 games due to a left calf strain, was recently reevaluated. The evaluation indicated that Davis is making good progress with his recovery. He'll be reassessed in 7 to 10 days, and further updates will be appropriately provided, which is a good sign. It shows that he is progressing well. However, it will take another 7 to 10 days, which on the back end of it, that'll take us all the way up until Thanksgiving, which really does mean that Anthony Davis probably will not play for the remainder of this month. And even though we did beat the Trailblazers last night in overtime, tonight's game against the Minnesota Timberwolves may not be as fruitful for the Dallas Mavericks, and these upcoming games will only get that much tougher. But if we are going to try it and see if we can win with AD, then you sit him out, you let him rest. He comes back even healthier than before. Eventually, Kyrie comes back. And what a lot of you guys have been telling me, that you want to wait and see what things look like when Kyrie comes back, when AD's healthy. And some people would also agree. More reports have come out and has been shared to me that both Jason Kidd and Kyrie Irving have been urging Mark Cuban not to make a move. Give us some time. Give AD about a month. Let him come back healthy, show you what he can do. And maybe when Kyrie comes back, things look somewhat salvageable. The team is 4-10 right now. Not a great start to the season, but if we can turn things around, then it might be worth waiting. But like I said before, there are teams interested in Anthony Davis. He does have interest around the league. Like I said, it just may not be what you want. A report came out over the weekend saying that NBA teams interested in trading for Anthony Davis hope he loses weight. Multiple teams are interested in trading for Davis, but those teams believe he needs to lose weight so he can be the mobile threat he usually is. I find it very ironic that we traded away Luka Doncic because he was out of shape and getting injured way too much, for a player who has been getting injured way too much and is now out of shape. There's been a lot of talk about Anthony Davis' weight, and I don't really like speaking on the weight of players, but just to speak matter-of-factly, there was a lot of people that spoke about AD's weight and conditioning before the season started. A lot of people said that he does this every season. He doesn't do too much over the summer, and then he kind of plays himself into shape. There was a picture that came out just a few days ago in our brand new jerseys, and some people point out that, yeah, AD got a little bit of a gut. And that all is proven true from this report. I'll throw it back up, that multiple teams are interested in trading for Anthony Davis, but those teams believe he needs to lose weight. AD's fat, apparently, now. So, yes, even with AD being hurt, even with AD being out of shape and needing to lose weight, teams still want AD. So if we go down the route of trading him, then yes, he needs to sit on the bench. He needs to miss some time. He needs to get healthy so he can come back in a better shape, healthy, play games, build up that value. Then sure, maybe he'll get traded. Or the Dallas Mavericks will take advantage of the player that they have, that they know has the potential to help us win games if he's motivated, if he's healthy, if he's taking it seriously, and coupled with Kyrie whenever he returns, then maybe, just maybe, this team will finally look like the threat that we've seen them potentially be in very small moments. That Houston Rockets game last season was really the only time we thought that we were that much of a threat, and we want to get back to that. So either we wait for AD and Kyrie to be fully healthy, we can be that again, or you hit the big red button, you blow it up, and you try to get some picks back. And from all the rumors coming around, it shows that there is a team that could be interested, and that team would be the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors could trade for Anthony Davis, but will need to include Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green in any deal. If they're really committed to giving Curry the best possible chance at his 5th championship, Davis is their play. I don't want Draymond Green. If we were to trade Anthony Davis to the Warriors and you have to take Draymond Green, then I'm flipping Draymond Green to the highest bidder, maybe even the lowest bidder. I don't care. Whoever can take him off my hands right away. I don't think Draymond Green really fits what we have going on, especially if you trade away Anthony Davis. There is no real point to have Draymond Green. But if you make this trade, you do have Jonathan Kuminga, who all summer long has been fighting with the Warriors as far as his role, the money, the contract. The whole situation between Jonathan Kuminga and the Warriors has been soured. So maybe we do trade for Jonathan Kuminga. He gets a whole new start in Dallas. He gets to play alongside Cooper Flag. AD gets to help Curry try to fight for another chip. And Draymond Green goes elsewhere. Who knows? So yes, we could trade Anthony Davis sometime soon or even in the near future, January-ish, before the trade deadline in February. That could still happen. But obviously in the next 7 to 10 days, AD is not playing basketball. And that does not mean he's back at the 10 days. He's getting reassessed. He may need to miss more time. We also got the report that AD needs to lose weight, but there are teams that are interested. But we also now know that both Jason Kidd and Kyrie Irving are fighting Mark Cuban to keep Anthony Davis. The upcoming season this current season, the upcoming months are going to be very, very interesting as things can go in different directions. After they fired Nico Harrison, there's a lot of things popping up, and the Dallas Mavericks have a million ways that they can go, but they can only choose one. But let me know in the comment sections how you guys feel. Do you think that AD is worth keeping around and try to see what we can do when Kyrie comes back? Or do you want to just ship him off to the highest bidder? Maybe not even the highest bidder, just whoever can take him now. Try to forget everything that's happened over the last season and a half and try to move forward with Cooper Flag. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's what I got for guys today. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all, take care. Drink water. Peace.